In a year, I lost like $500,000. Nobody helps me with my finances. Everything is on me.
I forgot to breathe.
Yeah, it's okay. This guy owed like $50K and I charged him $2,500. He's like, deal. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
I have so many questions for you now.
Anyone in this planet could achieve everything we've got.
Maybe you can teach me how to make money.
It's easy. I love making money.
Welcome back. Before we introduce our guest, as always, bear with my face, and I have 3 things for you. I will discuss one movie. I will recommend one interesting activity, show, or place. And 3, I will talk about something that bothers me. So, first, let's talk about movies. Can someone tell me, please, what the hell happened to movies? Seriously, movie after movie after movie has been one disappointment after another. And I feel like you can actually tell when Hollywood stopped smoking pot and started doing mushrooms. Let me tell you something that actually does have a plot and might be quite interesting. The Odyssey. I saw it last night, and it is obviously a very meaningful piece because it's based on Greek methodology and because it's not based on current writers or producers, but it's based on a 3,000-year-old saga. What fascinated me wasn't really the effects or the production. That kind of was lost on me a little bit because despite some serious work done with the Cyclops or fight scenes or storm scenes, the war, the film itself was kind of missing certain elements for me that would take it from good to excellent. I think it was maybe the music, the language. It was a little too simple or rather not sophisticated or at times not appropriate for the time and place of the setting. Some other production shortfalls, but that's why I would give it 6 out of 10 and, probably watch it again, but only with coffee because I did fall asleep a few times. But as I said, there's definitely something worth mentioning. And I don't know whether it was done on purpose or whether this side of Hollywood actually caught on to what they revealed through this movie, especially its timing now, not 5 years ago or later, but now. When the soldiers of Odysseus came into Troy to take over the city, there's a saying that he says that in one night men brought the rage of 10 years. And it is obviously very, very graphic. I couldn't help but think of Palestinians raiding an Israeli kibbutz. Odysseus feels remorse of what had happened, and he says, I gave them a gift, a horse. And, the soldiers were inside the horse, and they betrayed the trust of the Trojans and conquered the city. I resonate that with Israel giving the gift of trust to Palestinians, allowing them to come in, to have jobs, to have internships, to be able to know exactly which kibbutz had which dog, what security system, how many girls, how many babies. They knew everything. They came in knowing everything. This was the Trojan horse that the Israeli government gave to its enemy. So that's my take on that. And also how the story ends for these men. The story ends in such a way that throughout the entire journey, since the moment that they've conquered the city, they're trying to get back home and they can't. And they feel like they've been cursed for what they did. Think about that. If Palestinians are looking to come back to a home, not necessarily a physical home, but mental home, to live in peace, to have a home, that will not happen. It will not happen because you do not fight for peace by raping little babies. You don't get peace by unleashing evil through betrayal of trust. You just don't do that. And it has nothing to do with Israel or world power. It is just the curse that they have undoubtedly unleashed on themselves for doing what they did. So that is one thing. That's my opinion. But hey, I predicted October 7 in my book. I predicted the world anti-Semitism back 30 years ago. So perhaps I do know what I'm talking about. The second thing is the more obvious thing, which happens in the movie from the beginning, where Odysseus, he lives in a very hospitable place where strangers are welcomed. And so he takes on this herd of men, and they end up basically abusing the home, abusing the hospitality, the generosity, the laws of the land, and they bring in their own laws. So basically, thank you very much for opening the door. Now we're taking the house. Does this remind you of anything happening in the world right now? Europe, America, You welcome migrants, you give them safety, you give them opportunity, you give them rights, you give them a home, and they give you what? Hatred of your values. The same values that open the door, they hate. The economic raping of the system and the new Sharia law government. People, wake the heck up. That's all I'm going to say. So watch it, enjoy it, as there isn't much to enjoy these days. And take a long and hard thought about your self-hating generosity and what it's doing. And that if you don't set boundaries for your guests, I mean, you'll see, you just watch the movie. You'll see what will happen. Now, let's quickly dip into my second thing, an interesting place to visit. And I promise you, if you're tired of politics and controversy, this is a place that fits it all. That's leftists and conservatives can enjoy, Jews and anti-Semites, straight, white, black, LGBTQ, capitalists, communists, lovers and haters. There is no agenda. I promise you that. No hidden propaganda, and I'm made sure of it. The Masquerade. 10 out of 10. A completely reimagined, immersive Phantom of the Opera experience. Incredibly interactive, theatrical, and unlike a traditional Broadway show, highly, highly recommended. I've seen it twice. Yes, and I paid twice the most expensive price to see it again and again, and loved it as much as the second time. This time, the Phantom actually squeezed my shoulder, this one, and sang directly to me, to the point that I cried with him. So go see it. Okay, and now let's get to what is actually something that I want to talk about today. Something that really bothers me. Women. And no, I'm not talking about women on Instagram. I am talking about the battered women, the dependent women, the suffering women. And I'm also talking about the women who don't even know that they are dependent. Because sometimes she's sitting in a gorgeous house, she's wearing Chanel, she's driving a Mercedes. Everybody is looking at her and thinking, wow, this woman has everything. And this woman doesn't even know what she has. She doesn't know what debt he put under her name. She doesn't know what happens to the house if he dies tomorrow. She doesn't know where the investments are. She doesn't know the passwords. She doesn't know the taxes. She doesn't know shit. But she knows what he likes for dinner. Think about that. Let that sink in. She knows how he likes his steak. She knows how to make him happy. She cooks. She cleans. She takes care of the children. She gives him sex. She gives him comfort. She gives him her time, her youth. She gives him her energy. And what exactly does she have? Sometimes she's nothing more than a beautiful furniture in her own house. Or a cute little puppy. Jump, sit, smile, put on a dress, look beautiful, don't ask questions. And this is where I want to talk about something where people don't talk enough. How do you deal with this situation? How do you deal with a husband like that? He may be charming, successful, generous. He may make you feel protected. He tells you, like, baby, don't worry about anything. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of everything. And you think, my God, finally a man, until years later when you realize he did take care of everything, including your ability to survive without him. And this is why I want women to understand something. Knowing what you own is not being unromantic. Knowing where the money is doesn't mean you don't trust your husband. Knowing what you're signing doesn't mean you're planning a divorce. Asking what happens to me if you die tomorrow doesn't mean you want him dead. It just means that you are an adult and you're taking steps to care about your future. Because tomorrow he can die. Tomorrow he can leave. Tomorrow he can get sick. And tomorrow you can decide that enough is enough. And then what? And unfortunately, I have watched too many women become so consumed by a relationship, so emotionally attached, so dependent on him for their own identity, happiness, and entire understanding of themselves that when the relationship collapses, they're gone. That's what scares me. So today, we're not going to teach you exactly how to ask every financial question. That probably for another show. But maybe we can accomplish 3 things. Number one, wake up and smell the coffee. Look at your life as it actually is and not as you want to believe it is. Number two, protect yourself. Know what you own. Know what you owe. Know what you're signing. Know where things are. And number three, don't ever allow yourself to get into a position where another human being holds the remote control to your entire life. And that brings me to the woman sitting across from me today. Rachel Mihailov is a powerhouse of tax and accounting knowledge. She's an enrolled agent. She built a multi-million-dollar tax and accounting business across various states. She's a young woman, an entrepreneur, someone who is heavily inspired by Tony Robbins. She wants to take what she has learned and build something for other women. Pass it forward. A network where women can connect, learn, coach each other, inspire each other, and most importantly, become stronger.
Rachel, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Rachel, before we begin telling women how they should run their lives, tell us why you think you're an expert. And also one other thing. So run me through, like, how did you get into this business? Why you're an expert in telling women how to be independently, financially independent. Mm-hmm. And also tell me, I just spoke about the abundance mindset, right? Mm-hmm. I heard that first time from you, actually.
Really?
Yes. And so I just want to know, like, where did you hear that? Were you always this wise and, and knowing how to do everything? I mean, because you've built an empire, right?
Thank you.
You're actually called Empire
Tax.
Right,
yes.
right. So you're this money-making machine. I mean, this is what, like, you kind of give off that vibe. Like, whenever I look at your posts and,
Thank you.
whenever people tell me about you.
Wow.
And so you give that energy, that vibe, and that's an amazing thing. I'm so proud of you as a Baharian community member. I am very, very proud of you. Just as a person, as a woman, I am very proud of you. And that's why I wanted to start my podcast career with the first podcast with
honored.
you.
Thank you.
So please tell me, were you always this strong machine? I mean, these women, they're sitting here listening to this, right? Mm-hmm. And they're thinking like, oh, of course. How can we? We can't even compete with that. She is all the way over here. We're like all the way over there.
Right.
Were you always
No, never. I mean, I started with nothing, right? So got married and we lived a comfortable lifestyle with my parents, right? And then as soon as I got married, I'm like,
and you were how old?
I was 19.
Wow.
Yeah, I got married at 19. And the year that I got married in July. And then 3 months later, my parents got deported. I had nothing. Deported. Like, I had actually police come to my house. U.S. Marshals came to my house and they broke my doors. And this is a crazy story, actually.
That must be so traumatic.
It was very scary. So the police came to my house with guns, 6 a.m. in the morning.
Oh my God, I'm having goosebumps.
Yes. And me and my husband were like, what the hell is going on?
Why does this always happen in the morning? It's like
I don't know. I guess 6 a.m. They broke the doors. And they're like, where's your father? Where's your mother? And I'm like, first of all, you're in my house. You're not going to be asking, where's my mother? Where's my father? I was like a very crazy 19-year-old girl talking to U.S. Marshals like that. I'm like, listen to me, let's have a seat so I know exactly why you're looking for my parents. And they're like, okay. So I set the tone straight. You're not going to come fucking breaking into my house and telling me where's my parents. Can I see your search warrant? They didn't have a search warrant. I don't think they did. And then they started asking my husband questions. He was an illegal U.S. He was illegal. He was an Israeli, guy, no passport.
Your husband?
My husband. No documents. I just got married, so I was in the middle of giving him papers.
Did you know that he was illegal?
I knew that, yeah.
Oh, okay,
I was getting married, and I knew that he was an Israeli person. We got married for me to give him papers. And
whether that was the reason why you got married?
No, I got married. No, I loved him.
Oh, okay,
yeah, for sure. I loved him. Like, we got married, but I knew his situation. So they started asking him for papers. And I'm like, excuse me, sir, do you have a search warrant for my husband? Let me see the names. He's like, no, it's just your parents. I said, okay, I'd look at my husband, run. I don't need you. I got this myself. He ran for his life. He's like, I'm out of here. Because he didn't want to get deported, God forbid. You know, like then I would be left with...
Imagine that.
Yeah, he ran and I'm alone, okay?
Totally would have happened now, though.
It would probably, yeah. So I'm alone with like 5 different police officers asking me questions.
Are your parents there with you? You're all alone?
I'm all alone in my apartment, okay? And then at the time, they were looking for Osama bin Laden. And I'm like, why are you looking for my parents? Go look for Osama bin Laden. Who are you guys looking after? You know?
Right.
And they're like, we're looking for your parents. And I said, listen to me. You are looking for the wrong people. I also told them that, and I wasn't sure if I was pregnant or not. I'm like, if you're going to scare me and I'm going to have an abortion, I will sue all of you here.
My God, you really know how to talk to them.
They're like, oh my God, let me drink. Let me give you some water. Let me be okay. And I'm like, listen to me. I don't know where my parents are. In our culture, when we get married, we don't talk to our parents. That's what I said to them. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know where they are. I don't know where anything is. And and they believed me. And they're like, okay. Then they go, you need to come with us right now to show us where your parents live. And I said, no. The search warrant is for my parents. You don't have a search warrant for me. So I'm not going with you anywhere.
Damn, why aren't you a lawyer?
I don't know. And then it was a Jewish holiday at that day. It was Sukkot. And then they're like, you need to come with us. I said, listen to me, sir. Do I bother you on Christmas? Do I bother you on Thanksgiving? I don't bother anyone on their American holidays. You're not going to bother me on my Jewish holiday. I'm not going with you anywhere.
Wow. She's a queen.
I was 19. I don't know where I came up. I'm telling you, God help me. I don't know where this came from. Nobody trained me or anything. And then they broke my door. And they're like, okay, we're about to leave. I said, listen to me. Before you go, make sure you fix my locks. Because you had no authorization to break my locks. Wow. They left, they fixed my locks, and they never came back again.
And then what happened?
And then I guess my father, we hired attorneys. I was not prepared for it. And, then my father went to jail, ended up paying $1.5 million in restitution because he didn't file his taxes properly, didn't hire.
So that was the reason why they came knocking.
Yes. They had pictures of my parents looking for my parents in every closet, everywhere, And I got so scared. But you know what? I couldn't lose myself. Because when you lose yourself in these situations, you just don't know what to say.
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna take care of this and do it myself. I don't know how. As a 19-year-old, I just, all alone, because I told my husband, run for your life. I don't need you. I'm gonna take care of this myself, and it was totally fine.
I think that's what is really the essence of you, the caretaker, the person that you say, I'm not gonna depend on anyone else to do, and I'm going to do it myself. Right. And I can do it better than anyone else.
Yeah. I just I don't depend on anyone. I take ownership myself. And if I need to do something, I'm going to find a way to get it done. And I hate relying on anyone. So
was it because of the tax thing that you felt like people weren't, your parents didn't know any better. They relied on someone, on a bad accountant. Yeah. And you've decided to.
That's exactly right. So after that, they went to 26 Federal Plaza. My father got arrested. And then I'm like, why are you going after my dad? He's such an amazing man. He helps the community. And it just shows you could have the biggest heart. You could be an amazing person, but yet still get in trouble, right?
If you don't take care of the necessary things.
Exactly. So his accountant never filed his sales tax properly. And that's why he got arrested. So, when you buy, and you as an accountant would understand, when you buy a product in New York, right? Let's say you buy a car for $50,000. You're supposed to reduce your price by sales tax 1.878%, whatever. He just told the people, you know what? The car is $50K. It's okay. I'm not going to collect sales tax. Therefore, he assumed that he didn't need to pay the sales tax. That's not true. In New York State, whether you collect it or not, you're supposed to pay the sales tax, right? So he didn't know. You're supposed to reduce the percentage, take $48,000, whatever it is, pay the difference to New York State, and he never did.
Right.
But he thought that since I never collected it, I don't need to pay it. But
by the way, just a very small side note, sales tax is probably the most scariest tax that there is. You can get away with the IRS in New York State, but sales tax is going to come and get you. Even if you close your corporation, they can still open and pierce the corporate veil.
Yes. That's right. It's a trust fund. Same thing with payroll tax, because when you take money from clients, you're supposed to give it to New York State. When you take money
Right.
from employees for payroll taxes, you're required to
right.
give it. It's called a trust fund. So if you don't do that, it's considered to be theft, and he did not know. And I tell everyone, you could have the best accountant that does your books, payroll, sales, everything, but if you don't have guidance, you're screwed. You need to have the right guidance
Right.
who could guide you every single month and help you with everything you need.
And that's why you decided to go into accounting.
Yes.
And where did you go to school?
Touro College. And I say it because it's such a basic college. I want to mention that my education is nothing, not of Harvard, nothing major. Everything that I did was really just self-learning. Everything. So just basic Touro College in the city, nothing special at all.
Okay. So once you did that, so just give me a lowdown of what happened next.
Then I started working for a CPA firm. I was 19, worked at a CPA firm. Then I found out I was having a baby. And I'm like,
Oh my
shoot,
God,
right
at
away at
19.
20. I was like 19, 20. And then I'm like, shoot, I really need to start working. At the same time, I was in school. So I was working 9 to 5. And I was going to school 6 to 9 in Brooklyn. In Touro, was in Brooklyn. And I was like, you know what? I need to make more money. I can't be making 20 an hour at a CPA firm. Like I was just like being his assistant, preparing basic returns. And then I landed a very big job, making like 65 to 70K a year later, because I got the experience from a CPA firm. And then I found out I got pregnant again in 2007 with my second child. But that's when I was telling you I got really sick. I got really sick, and my father got deported at the time, and I was so stressed out that I started throwing up every single day. I was like working, throwing up, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I couldn't eat anything. So I went to the doctors, and like, you have
Must
a baby.
have lost a lot of. How many pounds did you lose?
I lost 45 pounds.
Wow.
I was 67 pounds.
67?
Yes.
I don't think ever in my life I
I
weighed
saw
60.
that
Even as a
on the
child, I
scale.
probably never-
I saw that on the scale, and I'm like,
Oh my
I think I'm gonna die. Like literally, I thought I was gonna die. I'm telling you, I really thought that. Like I was like
anorexic.
literally, and the doctor said like I may not even make it because this is a risk. So, I got this job at this big CPA firm, and I started throwing up, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think I could get this job. I'm not feeling well, so I had to quit. And thank God I got sick, because as a result, I started my own thing. I was sick.
Wow, so quick.
Yes,
How long were you there at the CPA firm?
for a year.
And that's it. And you
That's
started
it.
your
I
own
started
firm.
my own thing.
That takes a lot of guts.
I know. I hired a guy, started giving flyers out, prepared about, I think, 80 to 100 returns in a year just by literally putting ads in the newspaper. I posted ads every single day in AM New York. It was like $100 a day.
Right.
I put ads every day in Metro paper. I don't know if you know, years ago, for $100 a day. And I had 100 calls a day. I was so busy preparing tax returns. I remember the month I made 20K, I was like, holy shit, I'm making too much money. What is going on? So while I was sick, I was making all this crazy money.
But you had somebody working for you.
I did. I hired people. I had an office in the city. I got an office at 5 Penn Plaza. And it was just my friends thought I was crazy, but whatever. I got an office, and it was a very tiny office. I paid $4,000 or $5,000. It was like $4,000 a month in rent. And that's it.
Oh, wow. It's 5 Penn Plaza. I was right next to you.
Really?
Around 1 Penn Plaza.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yes.
Yes. The train station is right there. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to work at a hedge fund, and the way that I got into my CPA firm was, so I was working at the hedge fund. I was very, very miserable. And then I was like, I want to work for myself, but I don't know anything about individual taxation or corporate. I need to get experience, but how do I get experience and work for $20 an hour?
Right.
Where I'm
Making
at the top,
right?
It's a hedge fund. It's number 6 world hedge fund. And so I said, okay, I'm going to work at night. So I worked nights. I would work until 7. I would come home, spend time with my kids.
Wow.
And then I would go at 9 o'clock to work for a CPA firm in Forest Hills from 9 until 2, 4, and then the next day in the morning I would be back in the city again. And I did that for 2 years. I learned a lot. And then I still stayed on in the hedge fund. And then one day when my creative career picked up. You know, I got into X Factor, I got into Eurovision, this and that, and I was traveling a lot, and I was like, you know what, I can't do this job, which is so demanding, and also like everything else that I want to do. So I decided to be more flexible and start my own thing. And I have to tell you, I am making more money than I ever made before, and I'm living my life.
Me too.
So much better than ever, and this is so great. So I do want to talk about what can we say right now to women that are listening. They think that probably, that there's nothing that they can achieve themselves. Like the ones that I was talking about, the women that are very dependent on their husbands, that don't know anything. And probably in your practice, you come across a lot of clients like that. I do too. A lot of clients I have that they don't even know that their husbands like have a business on the wife's name.
Wow.
Yeah. And or sometimes the wife does know that it's on her name, but obviously she doesn't do
that's
it.
not good. My mom had that, and that's why my mom went to jail. Your
mom went to jail.
My mom went to jail. Yes, she was in jail in Canada because
Rachel, it's only been 20 minutes. I'm
I'm telling you,
crazy.
my mom. I remember my mom telling me she went to jail in Canada, and it was because
in Canada. Did you guys live in Canada?
Because he went to. So they got deported to Israel, and then my father got extradited, and he came to Canada somehow. Then they were back and forth in courts, and my father had 4 companies. 2 was under his name, and 2 was under my mom's name. And because they found something connected, I don't remember the details because I was so young. My mom had to go to jail because of my father.
See, that's what can happen.
Yes.
Wow. So what can we tell the women who don't really know anything, don't want to know anything? They're in the golden cage. They want to stay there. But from what I've seen, and I've seen a lot, I've seen this like epidemic all around us, especially in our community. I've seen women that have it all. Like I said, drive a Mercedes, have a beautiful home. And they either do something really, really crazy, like run off with a guy or something, or they suicide, or it's just something is very unhealthy about not knowing who you are.
Agreed.
Not knowing your skills, your strengths.
100%.
And not trying. There's no failure, right?
That's
the failure is in not trying. So what would you recommend? How did you always know what you know? Like, were you always this?
Of course not. I just think, I don't know how to say this, but like they're not happy. They're not fulfilled inside, right? You can have, even if somebody gave me $1 billion, I would still do what I do because I have a purpose and I have an identity. I have a mission to fill, right?
What is your mission?
My mission is to help the world. I whether it's with finances or help someone or lift someone up. Like, I love Tony Robbins' mission. His mission is to end suffering. And my mission is to end suffering. Whether it's like, I can help this person with whatever. Like, there are times that I have conversations with people because they hate their jobs. And I say, listen, get out of it. Do something else. Just lift them up. Whether it's helping someone save money on taxes if I can, or help them with their finances, or give them guidance on what they need to do. That's my mission, really. But a woman that has, like you said, everything, I would say you need to be making your own money, because then someone else will just have control over you. And I would never have or allow anyone having control over me. My husband has never had control over me. He would never. And even if he made, like I said, billions of dollars, I would always make my own money because I have my own brain and I don't need to rely on anyone ever. So,
but what about, like, some people might say, a husband and a wife, they have to come together to be one. Some marriages do believe in like a united account.
I understand.
And how do you find that? And you're also very deeply spiritual and religious person to some degree. So
I'm okay with having one account with my husband and paying for everything. I'm okay with that. But you still have your own individual identity. Okay. And we don't have a combined identity. Every person has their own identity. And I think, honestly, women that get married, they lose their identity along the way. And if you don't know who you want to be,
let's take some Esther living in Jamaica Estates.
Okay.
She got married. Her husband says, Don't worry about anything. I love you so much. I really don't want you to dirty your hands. They're so beautiful. I don't want you to mess up your hair. Just enjoy yourself. Go to a salon. Go to the gym. Enjoy yourself.
I don't know. I mean,
what should she do?
If someone told me that, I wouldn't. What should she do? She should still make her own money and educate herself.
But where does she start?
I mean, depends on what she loves, right? They always say go after your passion, right? Everyone has their skill. I loved finances, and that's how I got into it. If you love baking, I just want to get my eyelashes done. She's great at doing eyelashes. She does it at home, makes good money, right? If you love doing makeup for others, you could make $100K a month from home, putting on people's makeup.
So what would you say? So Esther, going back to Esther, let's say, she likes baking. Like you said.
Right.
She bakes and everyone tells her, wow, this is incredible. You should really open your own bakery. Thing. How does she start?
I guess just posting on social media, like share it, tell everybody about it. That's how I started, right? When I just started, all I did was like post 3 times a day on social media, tell everybody. And then I started getting referrals. And I don't even know how.
But did you follow a guide? Did you know, did somebody tell you, be inspired, have confidence? Believe in yourself. Did you? I mean, Tony Robbins.
I did. I met.
Does that help?
I found him in I think I don't remember when it was. Maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe 7. But I've been doing this for 20 years. I started my practice with my second one. He's almost 20.
Wow.
So I went through so much hardship.
Right, on your own.
On my own.
Without anyone guiding you.
Exactly. And then actually I hired a mentor, and I remember telling him, I really want to make $1 million. It's I don't know why I have this. And I'm like, I gotta freaking make it. And he asked me how much money I was making at the time. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm working every single day. Maybe I'm not charging enough. I was just I don't understand why am I not? I'm working so hard, right? Every day.
Mentor, this is a
CPA.
A CPA mentor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he's like, okay, Rachel, and I don't even know him. He's a stranger. Okay. He's
How did you sort him out?
He just reached out to me. He reached out to, I don't know, I guess because he was reaching out after accountants. He was looking, to sell accountants. And he's like, and I was his target audience, right? And I don't remember what year it was, but he's like, if you want to work with us at $6,000, how do you want to pay? And I'm like, I don't even know you. But you know what? I'll give you my credit card. Worst case scenario, I'll just dispute it or something, but I'll give you my credit card because I really need a change. I couldn't stand. I was making $500,000 at the time. Again, it was 10 years ago. I don't remember what year, but I was like, I'm so tired and I need to freaking hit $1 million, right? So year 1 with him, I think I hit 980. Wow. I got to 980, so I almost doubled my business. And then the following year, I think it was at 1.2 and then 1.8, and we just started growing from there. And I was like, oh my God, mentoring is everything. But I had to go through hell, hiring, firing, sales, just going through so many failures to find him. And then finally a mentor said, this is the way you need to do it. First of all, my biggest thing is my pricing was wrong. I was charging way too little. And boom, one day I charged the client $3,000. He paid for my rent, for my office rent. And he's like, and normally I would have charged someone $450 for that. So he's like, and just because one thing that changed my mindset, so he switched my mindset of changing my pricing, I was able to double my business every single year.
Would you say, what can you define this mindset? Would you say it's something like
resilience, not being scared, fearless? Because at first we're always scared, right? We want to close the client, right? So let's say a client tells us, it would take us an hour to do something, right? So I would be embarrassed to charge $250, $300. That alone was oh my God, because in the past we would make $20 an hour, and here I'm already making $250 an hour. That's good money.
Yeah, especially when you hear you just did it for a minute.
Exactly.
It's hey, I went to college for 4 years.
Exactly.
I took the CPA exam or the EA exam.
Yeah, exactly.
It was difficult.
100%. But then I was like, you know what? It was all packaging. So I don't remember what it was, calling the IRS and doing a compliance check. This guy owed $50K and I charged him $2,500. He's like, deal. I'm like, what the hell just happened? He paid $2,500 for an hour's worth of work. I could do this all day, every day, and I could make $100K. This is easy. So it's like him switching my mindset that gave me confidence to charge more. Look at people doing makeup. They charge $100, then they go up to $400. Some of these people, they charge brides $1,000.
Right.
It's the same thing.
And people pay.
Yeah, people
You know
pay.
why? People pay because at the end of the day, they get a beautiful product.
Right.
That's why.
Well,
When they
same
look
thing
at
with
us-
taxes.
I know, but sometimes, unfortunately, we have clients. I don't know if you do, but sometimes these clients, they come and they look at me and they're like, "Why are you charging $500 for a tax return? I used to pay $100."
Right. That's okay. I wouldn't take those clients.
And I'm like, yeah. You used to pay every year $1,000. You're getting back $3,000 with me.
Right.
Isn't that worth that extra differential?
Right, 100%. Honestly, if somebody tells me that, I would fire
I
them.
just want to talk to them.
Right,
Exactly.
I wouldn't take them on. I don't
You
take
don't
people.
understand my value.
Exactly.
You don't understand who-
exactly, and that's unintelligent. I don't work with people that are dumb.
Right.
Sorry, if you can't see my value, have a good day. Next, because there's people. Listen, we sell time. Right? I don't have a lot of time. I have a team. I have like 15 people working for me, but I protect my team. I do not accept every single person. I've terminated clients a lot because they don't see our value.
Right.
They don't understand what we're worth. That's okay. The world, it's like the ocean. There's billions of people looking for good people like us.
Right.
That are waiting for us. Now, I have a client paying me $60,000 a year. And you know what? He thanks me almost every day. I had a client pay me $20,000 from Ohio. He was a doctor. He sent me a whole love letter.
Oh, wow.
Yes, $20K. And here there's some people that pay $300 and they're not happy.
Yeah, they're not
I don't
happy.
need your money.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye.
So because you have your worth, you understand.
We know
your
it.
self-worth.
Yes.
And I think that's one thing that we need to communicate to these women. You need to have your self-worth.
Right.
And when you know who you are, like what your hobbies are, what your interests are, that's when you actually have your self-worth. That's when you understand that you are this remarkable, wonderful, beautiful person with such
100%.
amazing skills, and that forward, guides you towards making that and packaging it and marketing it and making some money off of it.
Right.
Because you're sharing with the world. That's all you're doing.
I think every single woman should make their own money. That's it. You, no matter what, whether you like it or not, whether you have $1 billion in your bank account, because you know what? I think when I was throwing up for a year, I couldn't stop working. I was literally, and I had IV in my thing for 9 months. I was working with my IV in my hand. I'm not even kidding. I begged them. I was crying to them, begging them to put IV on this hand so I could write on my right hand. That is how addicted I was like, please, God. They're like, okay, we need to poke you here. We need to poke you on the neck. I said, poke me wherever you need to poke me, just so I could get my food for the day. Because I couldn't eat. I was on IV for 9 months. Every day. Yeah. And they said, if you're not going to come in to the doctor and get your IV, then we're firing you as a patient, because they thought that I was a very big liability for them.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
that can happen?
that's what they told me. Dr. Friedman told me that if you're not going to come in every day, I'm taking your records and I'm firing you. He was scared that I was going to die on his thing. Literally.
You're like throwing like bullets at me. I'm like,
telling you.
I have so many questions for you now. So my first question is, I don't even know where to begin. My mind is racing. But my first question is, you seem like you're always working. So a lot of people might say, especially those wives,
right.
Esther, make a statement, say like, oh, that's what the problem is. She works all the time, so she has no time for her family.
Right.
Can you dispute that?
Yes, I can. So I'm with my family every single morning, right? I take them to school. I do whatever I need to do in the morning with them. And I have
5 children.
Yes, I have 5. And I had 5 C-sections, which is big. So after I gave birth and had my C-section, 3 days later, I went to work. But I had a full-time live-in next to me the entire time, watching my baby. And in between meetings, I would have a door where I would check on her and see how she's doing with my baby. So I wouldn't go anywhere. She would be right next to me. So here's my office, let's say. I would have a clear door and I would see how my baby.
Because when you work for yourself, you can actually achieve that.
So I work from home. I have a separate home office. And then at 6 o'clock, I stopped working. I stopped working from 6 to 9. I take care of my kids. I cater to them. I cook for them. They know that they are my number one priority. everything I do is for them. I would never, if a client wants to talk to me, fine, I'll make an exception. But I tell my clients, I'm with my family. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I'm with them the entire time. I spent time with them yesterday. Went to Haagen-Dazs. We went to Starbucks. We went to the movies. We took a walk. I take care of them. I listen to them, because some people, what they do is they say they're with them, but they're not with them.
They're not with them, right?
Right? They're on their phone. Yeah. They're on this. When I talk to my kids, I am building the next future. Okay? My kids are already starting businesses. Okay, my oldest son is in law school. My second one made $100K already doing power washes.
Wow.
For people. He's like, Mom, you're a hustler, and I'm going to do the same thing you're doing. He teaches people how to swim. He teaches people chess. He's doing his own marketing agency. It's all because...
And that's actually, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but that's my point. If you are that Esther sitting at home and doing nothing, what are you leaving your kids with?
Right.
What kind of role model are you? So you are really a good role. Yes, I'm not saying, please don't unsubscribe immediately. I'm not saying that what you are worth, what you're bringing to the table is not worthwhile. It definitely is. It's very hard. We all know.
Of course it's
the
hard.
housework, the chores. We know how it is. It's very difficult to bring your children up. But when you're doing it by being an excellent role model, not just telling your kids, wake up early in the morning, go to work, do this, do that, but they see you doing that.
Yeah.
That's when they resonate. That's what they will follow. Not when you do nothing yourself, but you talk.
100%.
They do not follow just the talk. It's talk is empty, right?
100%.
And so another thing I want to say, you are an amazing role model to the women. And I want to say something very, very important, especially like right now. After there was a certain post that I posted, and women especially ridiculing how I was too funny to something, like I was doing something with my face. They weren't listening to the main point behind it. So I want you to capture the main point behind it. I want you to understand. So for people that know that I'm a CPA, right, and they know that Rachel is an EA and she has this dynasty, this amazing empire.
You're making it too big.
No, it is big, and we should celebrate it. It's okay. Don't be modest.
Stop it.
But so you might see from the point of we are in the same industry,
right,
and oh my God, wow, what a drama, right? I want you to understand something, that our being here today and me saluting her is the exact epitome of the phrase. I'm going to try to remember this phrase. But simple minds talk about people and gossip, right? Average minds talk about events,
right?
And great minds talk about ideas.
I love that.
So we are here because we're trying to do something different. We've put our differences aside. We've put our egos aside, which we don't even have to begin with, because we're here together. So try to understand that we want, like Rachel said, she wants to heal the world. And we want to heal the world one woman at a time. And we want to bring great things to you. So she is here and she is available to teach. And maybe if you have an idea what you would like for us to do, maybe we could do some courses.
Teach them how to make money.
Teach them how to make money. Maybe you can teach me how to make money.
It's easy. I love making money.
That's amazing. So maybe you should have a course to teach people how to make money.
I could do it one-on-one, but it's
maybe you can be a mentor, and pass.
Right now, my focus is to really take my company to the next level, and I believe in really focus. Like when we have 100 different things in front of us, we don't really focus, right? So
I think that's my problem, my biggest thing.
Yeah, I'm crazy at focusing. I could do a billion other things, but I need to reduce distractions and noise. And I say no to so many things. And I'm like, I know what I need to do.
You said yes to me.
I know, I said yes to you. I was like, my heart says yes. And I'm like, this just feels right.
And she has to fly, literally, right?
Tomorrow.
Right after.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is I want to do it. I want to help the world. And I just think that women in our community need to hear this, because there's so many men that are kind of controlling them, and it kind of bothers me because they're not. I don't know, they're not taking their worth to the next level. They're not making money. They're not creating an identity. I want to tell you also, there are a lot of people that reached out to me recently who are in their 40s and 50s who were having amazing marriages in the very beginning. And now they're secretly telling me that they want to leave their marriage but can't because they don't have the funds to leave their marriage. And your marriage could be amazing.
And that's a prison.
Exactly. And I don't believe that anyone needs to suffer, right? We could be two people building a family and loving and having a beautiful marriage because both of you want to be in it.
Right.
But you don't need
That's
to be
important.
forced. Exactly.
Exactly. When he doesn't understand what he needs to do to make it work, then why should you be in it?
Exactly. And I'm not for divorce. I think, we should have, but it has to be equal.
Mutual.
It has to be mutual. Like, I want to be in this marriage. I'm not in a prison. And just because I don't make money doesn't mean that you're over me in any way. And that's why every woman that makes money could have some type of power or say in the home. Just because she doesn't make money, men don't respect
you were
that.
saying the disrespect, the very, very quickly. I know we're short on time, but you were saying something about like how he cheats on her because she stays home.
Yeah.
Do you think that's connected?
I think it is. I mean, I've seen a lot of men, in the community cheat on women, and I see who they cheat with, and these women are like so much smarter. And I think, these women are not so much smarter. The wives are home, they're untouchable. The wives are home are 1,000 times better, right? But why do these men cheat? I always ask myself, like, why? Maybe because when he comes home, she's in PJs. Maybe
and smells like fish. With garlic.
Yeah, like you look good. I work from home. I look like this every freaking day. All right, I put my makeup on, whether it's 100 degrees outside or if it's like 10 feet of snow. My cousin makes fun of me because I'm even wearing heels at home because I need to, if I'm talking to a $10 million client, I better sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
I talk to $10 million clients all damn day. I better look good and show up. I spoke to someone today, a doctor who I'm going to collaborate with that has 300,000 followers from home. And I'm going to collaborate with her. Like, you gotta, and again, women, to my beautiful ladies out there, you guys are so valuable. And I was talking to the eyelash lady today, and she goes, a lot of these women look at their past. And they look at their past like, my parents didn't give me a good education. My parents didn't set me right.
Or stop looking for blame.
Exactly. Or they're too young. They're too old to start. There's so many reasons.
There are reasons that losers have.
Exactly. And you gotta just stop the blaming. Stop the complaining. Because the more you complain, the more you're gonna get exactly what you complain about.
Exactly. Because law of attraction.
Exactly.
You
and
get
you know what I
you
tell
talk
them?
about the most.
Reset. Learn how to reset.
How do you reset?
You know what? You just like draw
How
the sand.
did you reset, by the way? I always meant to ask you a question. By the way, so for those who think that Rachel is like, she thinks of everything. She's very, very smart. Nobody can mess with her.
Thank you.
But there was a time I heard, I heard the rumor, but there was a time when you lost your empire.
Yes, I did. So
can you very, very quickly tell us?
Of course. So I think it was in 2020, 2021, I had 2 employees that were working in my business. And Tony Robbins says, you got to trust your employees.
Right.
You got to trust your employees. You got to be the face and the leader, focus on sales and marketing. So I was all day bringing these big clients in, focused on sales, because you can't wear multiple hats in your business, right? You can't have sales, marketing, operations. I have a bookkeeping manager. I have a sales, tax, payroll. It's a lot. And I have over 1,000 clients. It's crazy. So I was really focused on sales and marketing. And then I had an EA focused on the bookkeeping, and she was managing the relationships of the clients. One day she says, Rachel, I feel like I'm doing everything. Excuse me? I'm the one that's working at night. What are you talking about? You're doing everything. You're not doing shit. You're just doing the work that I'm paying you a 6-figure salary to do the work, right? And so she goes, I feel like I'm doing everything. If you're not going to sell your business to me, yes. If you're not going to sell your business to me,
nerve.
I know. This was January, right before tax
and that was like
season.
First conversation?
Yes. No, I didn't even know she had this like hatred and jealousy.
We're so ambushed.
Right. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, if you're not going to sell your business to me and this girl that she partnered up with in my company, so 2 employees,
Oh my God.
would leave.
Oh my God. And this is January.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, okay. And I wasn't stupid. I said, yeah, sure. You have the money to buy my business? Let's look at your accounts. And I went with it. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm going to sell my business to you. And I called my lawyer. I paid him $70K that year. And he's like, let's have a letter of intent. Let's go through it, right? April 26th, she worked.
I'm scared.
No. She worked the entire tax season. I paid her for it.
Okay.
April 22nd, I think, of that year, I said, thank you so much for your offer. I'm not interested in selling my practice because, first of all, she didn't deserve it. Okay, I'm not going to give my practice to somebody that doesn't deserve it. And number 2, I'm young. I don't need all this money. I know that I could do much more with my life. Like, I'm not 65 years old for me to sell my freaking business. So that day, she's like, all right, I quit. And the other girl quit.
But okay.
They quit. So, and I had clients cancel. I think in a year, I lost like $500,000. And it was just like in a month, like, oh, we're like to cancel because she was stealing clients for half the price or whatever it is. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? Nobody helps me with my finances. Everything is on me.
I forgot to breathe.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh my God.
My mortgage, I mean, I have to work. Like, I need to work. I mean, no one gives me $1, right? I bought my house myself, everything. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to figure this shit out. I'm going to figure that. I'm like, it's okay. I took a loan. I hired people and I'm like, you know what? I thought I was going to die out of like craziness. And I could have easily got into depression because of this, right? I lost like 50% of my client base. And then not only that, the other 50% wanted to talk to me. How dare you? How dare this happen? Why did you I'm like, first of all, I relied on the team to do your work. She promised me this.
Oh my God.
And I had to like face clients with such embarrassment.
I need tissues.
And I'm like, listen to me.
Not for you, for me.
Right. You're so cute. I'm like, I promise I will take care of this. And he's like, Rachel, I trust you. I know you're going to take care of this. And there are clients that are still with me, thank God, that trusted me. And and she is broke. Okay. She's broke. You know, the funny thing is, the people that steal and the people that have so much anger inside, they will never win. They will never win. I doubled my business from that time.
Wow.
Okay.
See, that brings me back to the point that I was making earlier about the movie Odyssey and the Trojan horse and how they conquered through betrayal and then had no peace after that. So going back to the Palestinians and Israeli.
Interesting. I just read your
conclusion.
book. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like she's just like winging it and doesn't have a solid business. I've doubled my team and now my average price is double because I continue to learn. I'm like, you know what? I'm a really good marketer. I'm a really good salesperson. Did
any clients come back?
Oh, actually they did. Good question. And I rejected them. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Good job. No, we're good. You could continue finding an accountant because you're not going to find someone that's just good like me. Bye. There were like maybe 5 or 6 that tried to come back. But like I said earlier, when you have money to market, because I spend about $10,000 to $15,000 a month in marketing, you have the whole world to choose from who you want to work with. And I tell people, I am not Walmart. I will not work with every single person that comes to the door. Just like you choose me, like people choose you, I choose them too.
Right.
It's a mutual relationship. You're not going to come to a store and think you're going to hire me because you're going to give me money. No. I'm going to interview you to see.
You think you throw money at me?
Buy. No. And I used to be like that, right? 25 years old.
I think we all used to be
okay,
like
sure. Get my taxes done. $300. Oh, let me do it for $250. I would take it for $250. I would be quiet. Because you said, was I always like this? No, I was never like this. We built and we created our identity as we got burned so many times.
Right. That's exactly it. It's through the failures you become so strong.
Yeah. And
Right.
now I'm telling you, I have a thriving business. I work with so many doctors and dentists. I don't think they have one doctor that they work with.
Did you put certain securities in place to make sure that this doesn't happen again?
So I hired an attorney. I have an IT security. I mean, listen, employees will leave. And now we have NDA contracts, confidentiality, non-compete that every single person signs.
So you didn't have that with them?
I did, but
It's just like-
for me to sue them
Sue
would be like
someone.
$200,000.
Right.
I already was in $70,000 in legal fees. I was like, you know what? I either sue them for $200,000 or I take that $200K into marketing and start over. What am I going to do? I'm not going to waste $200,000 into going after these loser clients that left me.
Right.
I'm not interested. You know, and I always believe in God. I believe in faith. And I'm like, God, you know what? I don't know why this is happening to me. But I know sometimes, like, in order for, you know how they say, if you're growing, the trees lose all its flowers and then you need to reset, right? I'm like, I had to go through rock bottom. I had to really go through shit. Like, I'm telling you, death. I feel like it was a death experience. And then really rebuild myself. And I think that's how I became so resilient and fearless that it's just, you know, I just became a different person.
I would love to just like dissect your brain and write like a self-help book
Stop it.
based on Rachel.
You're so funny.
Would you like to? We should write a book
I
together.
wouldn't mind.
This is so amazing.
I mean,
You're
it
an
just got
inspiration.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
and I really want to leave people with something very meaningful. If there's something you would like to share, I would like to share that I urge you to look at people, look at their ideas, and not see just, pretty face and she doesn't have any kind
Right.
of struggles, any challenges, but see her story and understand that this can be your story too. You know, if you put in the work, if you put in the time, and like Rachel said, you know, she didn't know a lot of things. She definitely learns to this day. She learns,
Of course,
every day.
Every day. I read books every day. I go to podcasts. I learn things.
So if a lady sitting, this Esther in Jamaica States,
I would read.
what would you recommend to read?
Sales books, marketing, figure out maybe referral affiliates. There's so many affiliate programs that you could be a part of. Find something that you love. And instead of you wasting time talking to people all day, just try to learn how to make money. I think what they say it's not about the money that I don't like. I mean, yeah, people say, wow, you made over $1 million. I don't think the person that it made me become to make that much money, I completely changed, right? I had to go to conferences. I had to hire over $300,000 worth of coaches. I had to read so many books. I had to go crazy by losing so much money. Like I went through freaking hell to get there, but I think like when you say I want to make $100,000, it's going to make them a much better person. It's going to make you a better speaker, a better communicator. You're going to read better. You're going to teach your kids resilience, how to hustle. There's so many things that you could teach and learn, not by making more money, but it's the trend, it's the path.
The path, the
because
journey.
of it.
Right, right.
You know?
Is there something, a book or anything that you can, where do they start from?
So I love this book, actually. I'm reading it now. It's called How to Manifest. And I believe in manifestation. I feel like everything I've received in making money and then buying my house, doing a lot of things in my life, I think it's because it starts with a belief and believing that it's possible. I think a lot of women don't believe it's possible. That's the first step. You can't, if I tell you, you could, make $20 million or whatever. If you believe it, you could have $1 in your bank account. I mean, look at our Baharians. My parents came here without a quarter in their pocket, right? They had to save a few dollars just because they wanted to, they started with matzahs or whatever, right? Their stories.
Right.
But now half of Jamaica States and Forest Hills are multimillionaires.
Right.
What did they have? They had a vision. They had a passion. They were hardworking. You could do anything. So I think it all starts with confidence. It comes with a vision, with what you believe in. They believed in themselves. We are crazy to believe in ourselves that we came here with nothing and now we have a multi-million-dollar house in Forest Hills, Jamaica States. If you tell anybody that, they're going to think it's impossible. But it all begins with your mind. So I think manifesting, every single night I write exactly what I want to get. I say, thank you, God, for this. Thank you, God, for this. This is what I want. I want to travel with my kids 3 times a year. I want to make $1 million a month. That's my new goal right now, right? I want to close clients that are making $10 million. I want to save a client $1 million in taxes. I find ways. I partner up with people. I collaborate. I do crazy things. I want to speak on stage and make $1 million in a day one day. Whatever. I write it down. I envision. I put a vision board on my vision, and I think about everything I want, and I know and I believe that I'm going to get it. So every single woman, if they really want something, they're going to get it. And that's how I would start. Read the book, The Secret. Read this book, How to Manifest, and just get it.
Or just read those books, and then whatever it tells you the next step, just follow that. Don't stop. Don't ever stop.
Exactly.
And by the way, going back to our roots, in Torah, it says that every day we have to learn something new. So if you don't do any of the 613 commandments, well, at least do that, because that is going to build you into a stronger person, a better person, and make you more resilient and a role model to your kids and the whole world. So I would like to say such huge thanks for such an exciting, dynamic, amazing podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm so grateful for you, Zhenya. Thank you so much for having me. I love doing this. I want to help others, and you are a very strong, powerful woman. I look up to you in so many ways.
Aww.
You really do. I really do. Don't think I am not a big person. I just want to say I am no one special. And we're all under God. We all came from the same place, and we're going to die at the same place. I don't want anyone thinking that I'm special, because I'm not. I'm just crazy. I'm resilient, and we're focused. And I think anyone in this planet could achieve everything we've got.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It's been such a pleasure.
Yes, amazing.